watch kind of took off on you, didn't it? You might want to do the other side.
This is a broken book. Have you ever lit a match before? Positivity.
Okay.
Is that match book's like really worn out or what?
Yeah, it is pretty worn out. All right. It is about 9 o'clock, March 27th.
Really?
This is the Alley Ranch podcast, number 5-ish. And hopefully we'll get through a whole one without interruptions, because the last couple times I haven't had enough data on my phone. But we figured it out. Me and Joe figured it out. It took a few hours, but we transferred a lot of files onto my laptop. Joseph kind of figured that out for me because I'm not very tech savvy. So we have a good 22 minutes. Because I guess that's as long as the Pixel will let you go until it splits the video. So we can go longer, but if we want it to be one with no editing, because we can edit it all together if we wanted to.
Yeah. You know, if it comes to that, we'll have to do that. But
No biggie. I like how when it started, it looked like Bodo was gonna be a co-host because he was just sitting in my chair, and it was you two. Bodo just chilled there, but then he headed out right away.
Poor Bodo.
He just wants to be a part of it.
Well, he's sitting slightly off camera. If we had more room, we'd throw him in the fourth co-host chair with a little kitty mic, but we don't got one.
Yeah, let's just put like a bunch of like dirty clothes on the table, and it could be the centerpiece.
Yeah, I was trying to find props to put on the table, but we don't really have any cool stuff here. Well, we have stuff, but.
And then we can call this the Kitty Spread Podcast. Welcome back to a Kitty Spread.
Kitty spread. So if you're watching these in order, Joseph just got a haircut a few hours ago.
It's pretty bad.
Well.
Who cut your hair?
Anthony.
Well, the story with it, because I've cut Joseph's hair a few times and I don't seem to get better at it ever, but.
Oh, like, what are you doing there? You put a bowl to his head?
We started out with a 3. That is not a bowl haircut. A bowl haircut is a coconut head. This is just
it's
military
military
style. So
Definitely not what I wanted.
We started out with a 3 on the sides, and then if you look on the back here, I went way too far up with the 0. I should have just went to where the...
Oh, right here?
No. See down here? It's a very hard line. I should have went like right there where his rat tail was, and I went too far up. So then I was like, okay, well, we'll go to a 2. We went to a 2.
You went way too far, huh?
Well, no, it was just the 2 and the 0 couldn't blend. So I was like, okay, we're going to have to go with a 1 here. So I was like, maybe we'll fade the 1 into the 2. But it was such a drastic change from the 1 to the 2. We just had to go 1 all the way up. And then when he got out of the shower, I realized I don't go far enough on the sides. But, I mean, it looks okay. It's just like...
Man, why don't you just, like, take it to a 3 right here?
I tried. No, yeah, I tried to do that.
Just do everything at 3 and, like...
I tried to do the fade, like the blending, by going like this, but it's just, I don't know, if I needed to angle it a lot more in, I didn't want to do too much, but I mean, you look fine, Joe.
What could you do?
I'm ugly.
I could have blended, I could have tried to blend more, but I honestly was just, I didn't want to, like, go too far into his head and then have to do that all the way around.
You could have just shaved it eventually, but...
Yeah, I mean, you look fine.
Pretty good for how you look, I mean.
You look fine. I think
okay,
this...
Joe, you look great.
You know, usually you get
you
a 2
have a new personality now.
Yeah.
Wear a hat personality.
No, I mean, it's just... No, I mean, honestly,
it looks good,
you just
though.
look different to me right
And
now.
honestly, by the time... If you're worried about the kids in Omaha are going to think you have 3 days for your hair to
it's not
grow.
going to change much.
It'll change enough. Well, how about we take a picture...
You guys can change it up when you shave it, but... I mean, like, his hair's not going to grow that much.
We'll take pictures. We'll track the hair growth from today to Wednesday morning when we leave.
You're now a science.
The Wednesday morning podcast.
The Wednesday
Early.
I don't know when we'll do the next one. We're definitely going to take a few days off because we've just been hitting the pods hard last night and today. So I'm good with doing this and taking a few off, come up with some more stuff. But Joseph was going to cut my hair tonight, but it took a good hour for me to cut his hair. Because
he was like, you're done. And then he's like, oh, I got to do the 0. Oh, I got to do the 2. Got to do the 1. I gotta just do 1 everywhere.
Yeah, it was definitely almost done. I was fine up until I tried to...
What'd you do wrong in the first place?
Look, right here. I was just showing you. I went way too far up on here. I should have just stopped right here.
That was just with the 1? You were just shaving his neck or what?
I was just trying to shave his neck and I went way too high up. I don't know how I did that. But once I did it, I was just like... I looked down.
Autopilot.
I messed up.
No, it wasn't autopilot. I just misjudged. I should have just stopped, went right up to the rat tail and stopped, but I went 2 inches past it. I don't know why I did that, but... I mean, I remember getting a haircut in Spokane. I got some haircut from some professional barber, and they went really high up with that, but, they were close.
They knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Also, I think, that's I think that's a military-ish haircut.
Well, military would be he doesn't have any bangs, so he still's got some bangs here, and he can kind of do some. He can kind of throw it over.
Middle part then.
No, I mean if you were military, your whole head would be shaved. That's what military is. You'd have no hair on the top of your head.
Not completely.
Is that true?
I mean they may give you
keep some of the top part. People will shave the sides mostly. Keep some top.
Yeah, but it's still buzzed on top. I just did the finger length scissors on his top. They'll put a 8 or something. I don't know.
Anyway, we're really embarrassing Joseph.
You look fine. You're gonna go to Omaha. People are gonna be like, you look good. The girls are gonna fawn over you because the girls seem to like you down there.
I don't even know them, and they're just like, "Hi, Joseph." It's disconcerting for you to call me by name. Introduce yourself. Don't walk away. Come back here.
That's okay.
Rumors spread about me that aren't true.
Really?
Mostly, Mariah will just be like, yeah, Joseph says he doesn't like bangs. That depends on how the girls do the bangs. Mariah showed me a picture of one of the girls who just left their bangs in a certain way. I couldn't explain it. But I was just like, she shouldn't have done that. Mariah was just like, hey everybody, Joseph doesn't like bangs. People I didn't even know knew about it. They're just like, yeah, I heard you don't like bangs.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of how kids are down there,
Well, it was Louis Landsgaard. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man. Can't remember what the other thing she would say about me.
It's okay. I think you're pretty alright. Mom and Dad are watching this Tom Hanks movie down there. It's called
News to the World?
News to the World, and the part I saw, Dad said it's about Tom Hanks trying to get this girl back to her home in southern Texas, and he's walking with her in the desert, and they're all dying and stuff, and she's trying to Frodo drink his water canister thing, and then he's carrying her eventually, and then he hears horse footsteps over this hill, and he's seeing dust, and he said, horses. Put her down, went up there, and then he went over the hill, and it was just a huge dust storm, and he was like, and then he runs back, but then he loses her in the dust storm because he doesn't get back in time. Then eventually they find each other, and then he gets her to her village, and she's like, what are we going? Because I don't know. She's European. Her name's Johanna, so I think they're all immigrants or something. But she sees the home. She sees the house that he's taking her to. She's like, no, go back. I don't want to go. So, abusive family relationship maybe. I don't know. Then we said the rosary, so I want to watch it though. It looks
Those
pretty
poor
good.
people who are just like on the way to go see this film.
Is this this must be a new one.
Yeah, it came out like 2 months ago.
Oh, well. By the time these get out, I'm sure it'll be all over the Peacocks and Netflixes and Amazon Prime Video, so it's good. It looked like a good one though. Tom Hanks is always good.
Yeah.
Little baby eater.
Even old Tom Hanks.
Well, I don't even really know any young Tom Hanks movies. I watched Big one time.
Just
I've never seen the
kind of looks like
Wilson movie.
Castaway is a great movie.
Wilson. That's the movie.
That's Castaway, yeah. He's a FedEx guy or something?
FedEx, air, plane flyer. I'm not sure if he's a pilot or if he just works on the planes, but plane crash, ends up on an island all alone for like a year and a half, maybe 3 years. Yeah. Then he eventually makes it back to the States and he goes to see his wife. His wife's remarried and has a kid by now.
Dang.
So that's fun.
That doesn't really. Now I don't really want to watch it.
It's a great movie other than that. He tries to hang himself.
On the island?
Yeah.
Oh. Doesn't work, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he tested it out on a little dummy he made.
Yeah, you told me about this.
And then he left it. Then he talks to a volleyball for 3 years. That's pretty cool.
You know, Alex talked to
A basketball. For like a few days.
Shut up, Spalding.
Spalding.
I like that. They did Castaway and then they did Planet of the Apes like within 10 minutes
Like
of that little
2
thing.
minutes.
Darn you. I'm sure they did more.
Darn you all to heck. Oh.
Because you know it's in Planet of the Apes. But he doesn't say darn you or heck. But it's the Statue of Liberty. That was a huge. I'm sure that was a huge thing when people watched that in the theaters, because they didn't know they were on Earth, that he was on Earth, until he seen the Statue of Liberty, like halfway's in the dirt, and then that's when he realized he was home, because he thought he was just on some random planet, but nope. The monkeys just took over the whole world. That'd be quite a shock.
Monkeys. I bet people on the street were getting diseases from monkeys.
You know, those guys were actually on tour a few years ago.
The monkeys?
The
The monkeys.
They'd be really old.
I think they're dead.
Well, no, I
The
mean,
apes.
Maybe Davy Jones is still alive.
no, the Flight of the Conchords guys,
Where did that come from?
because Joseph was going.
People on the streets get diseases from monkeys.
That's what I said. They get diseases from monkeys. I seen something. It was back when Mom had her computer in the office, so this probably would have been like
3 or 4 years ago.
yeah, before I graduated high school, probably like my sophomore junior. They kind of did a little reunion tour of those two guys, but they were all gray and it was weird. They had new songs. I didn't really watch anything. I was just reading an article about it. I'm pretty sure it was after what's he saying? Shining.
Shining.
It's kind of crazy. That guy made it. That guy's done a lot of voice acting work.
Jared. Rick and Morty too.
Yeah.
Farts.
That's like the best song out of that whole thing.
Goodbye.
Moon. Dude, the moon is full out there right now, and it's bright. When me and Joseph were leaving to go to Grandma's, tell him, Joe. We're on the phone with Mariah sitting there.
So we're just pulling out of the driveway, and I look up, and there's just these big clouds from the snowstorm earlier. And they're like way over, and the sky's blue everywhere else, and just above like all the clouds is just the full moon just bright up in the blue sky.
It was pretty cool.
It was just sitting on top.
It was
of
like
the clouds.
shocking, and it's such a. I don't know if it was just different up against the blue sky because the sun was still out. It was very clear.
It was just like, it was blue enough that it looked like it shouldn't be there,
You
but
know,
it was dark enough.
The thing about it was, it almost looked like you could see through it because the spots in the moon, you know, like a full moon, like the face in the moon, those gray spots looked blue, like the guy right behind it. So it looked like there were holes kind of in the moon or something.
That's because the government actually has us in a big container, and the moon's just plastered on there.
We're in the Rick and Morty
Simulation.
simulation in a simulation.
I was gonna say the Truman Show.
I was gonna say it.
We're actually in China, or somewhere in Asia.
Oh,
Korea.
That'd be quite a shock.
North Korea.
That'd be.
Probably North Korea.
I mean, it's nice knowing that people are watching us. Probably not us, maybe somebody.
Being watched by the cabal.
In the
Synagogue of Satan. Oh.
You know, one time me and Mom were going to Bismarck, and you know, anytime me and Mom go somewhere, she starts getting conspiracy theory on me, which I agree with, you know, most of it, so I guess it's not really conspiracy, but she was talking about how some guy was on, I don't think he was on Hell's Master. One of those guys, maybe the Common Sense show or something, but he went with this team of scientists down to Antarctica, and apparently, like, underground in the South Pole, they kept, like, the giants in these cages.
In South Pole.
And this guy said that, like, one of them got out while he was there, and it was just destroying people. But he got out of there. Can you imagine if that, like, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not saying it's true. But I
It'd
mean,
be better if it was true, though. Honestly.
it's just seeing that for real, that'd possibly break your brain.
That probably would. Because, I mean, it's only movie right now to anybody else.
Yeah. I mean,
Fiction.
so much of the stuff we think about is only movies. You know, imagine actually seeing a giant, like, 15-foot person troll thing. And
like
then it starts...
like a strong man, but 2 times bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like maybe 20 feet. And then it just starts, like, ripping people apart and killing people, and you're just seeing that.
Pretty tough.
it's like watching Troll Hunter, but in English.
You watched that?
Yeah.
Like Corbin?
You watched that? Why?
Chris Corbin. We all watched it.
Oh, really?
That movie is kind of scary.
It's good.
It's not as scary.
If you're a
as I Am
Christian,
Legend.
if you're a Christian, the troll could smell you.
Oh, yeah.
And that guy got killed because, like, it could smell it in your sweat or something. And he told them all he was an atheist just so he could get on the trip, but then they all got out of that cave, but that guy didn't. He got
I remember we were watching it. You guys were just like, Corbin was like, I'm pretty sure he makes it. And we're just like watching it. And they're all getting out of the cave. I just hear like, ah. He's like, oh, never mind.
oh,
He doesn't make it.
1 second. The zipper's been down.
You're lucky we're sitting down.
Well, I'm sure they had a direct shot of the zipper.
Oh. I guess this
I'm trying to
is
think of some of the other
dead footage.
Like, so what about Tom Man? That's like the Resi legend thing.
Yeah, I think they're just demons in the res, you know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what giants partially are.
You know. Yeah. Good for giants. Yeah, they might not be those.
Well, giants are the fallen angels in man, right, Joe? Is that what?
I think that's private revelation.
Yeah, I mean that's not church teaching like
I haven't-
official
It's not in the
doctrine.
Bible so far.
Well, they do talk about obviously like Goliath was a giant.
Yeah.
Stone giants.
You're not to David yet, are you?
They've already came back from Babylon. They're rebuilding Jerusalem.
The Giants are?
The stone giants.
No.
Bilbo's Giants?
No.
Bilbo's?
No.
Bilbo's ogre?
Okay,
Bilbo's troll.
stop.
I mean,
I'm in the book.
it'd be kind of terrifying being someone in the government who has like high security, you know? There's things like you'll find out about things that you can't tell your family or anyone, or else they'll like kill you.
And
Your parents.
some of those things that you just feel like you need to tell somebody, or else it just is terrifying to you.
Yeah, and like that chemtrail documentary we were watching, that one, he was like I don't know if he was a U.S. guy or a Canadian guy. I think he was a retired U.S. Air Force or something. But he said like when they get into those kind of, they're like the shadow, I can't think of the word, like the operations that the military complex is doing, but no one really knows what they're doing. The money's just kind of going into the military, but they don't publicize where the money's going. When you're in those really high level operations, you only get so much information. And like everyone's barely getting just a piece of information, and you're not really going to be talking to other people in different departments or anything like that. So they like fragment everything so much that there's a very small amount of people who actually have like a decent sized picture of what's going on, you know?
Well, and if you're in charge of something that big, they probably don't want you to know all this stuff, or else you're probably gonna blow your mind up, or like they want you to focus on this thing, maybe. Right? In the whole scheme of things, it's probably not good to have this house.
No, yeah. It's just wild. It's just
Yeah.
wild to think about. Like, it almost makes you want to get into some military or government thing, but then, you know.
Just to, you don't.
Just to know, but then you'll be like, I was better not knowing this. This is terrible.
No.
The government is full of sadists, I'm sure.
Sadist and Satanist.
Satanists.
Do you know what a sadist is?
Yes.
You learned that from the Jocko podcast, didn't you?
What's a sadist?
Jocko was, that's where you heard that from, right?
I heard it from other places too.
A sadist is like someone who enjoys inflicting pain on others.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted Joseph to answer the question, but
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I probably would have just been like, I actually don't know, before I actually said it. Because I'm like,
yeah, those people are bad people.
Jocko was saying how, you know, like the My Lai massacre doesn't just, like, that doesn't just happen, and it's not as if all of the, let's say, the sadists or the crazy dudes in the army were in that one platoon. You know how the My Lai massacre went down?
Did I listen to that with you?
I think so, yeah. We would have listened to that. Because basically, like, this platoon in Vietnam was told to go into this village because everyone in there, they were told, was going to be a military age male. But there were like only a few military age males, and it was just women and children, but they just lined up, like, they just killed like a whole village, basically, all these dudes.
This platoon did.
Yeah.
Of U.S. people.
Yeah, of U.S. soldiers.
This
That's like one
this
of...
platoon of U.S. soldiers killed a bunch of U.S. soldiers.
No. A bunch of, like, Vietnamese children and women. It was like, oh.
that's less bad.
That's
Well,
understandable.
I mean, that didn't make any sense
Oh,
for you to say
yeah.
that they killed U.S. people. I was like, what?
Because I guess Jocko was giving a talk to some military people, and he was like, there's definitely, like, a sadist in here somewhere. At least a few. Like, or in your platoon, which is, like, I think less than 100 people.
And he was a part of this whole thing, kind of, in a way?
Jocko?
I mean, he was just saying that there was a sadist in that platoon.
Yeah. Well, because
he
he was...
made it sound like he was in another platoon. He was talking to, like, a guy that was above, for this platoon.
Oh, no. I'm kind of mixing stories here. But basically because he said, you know, if you're in the military anyways, you already are probably a pretty aggressive guy. If you want to like do that type of stuff, which is basically your job is going to be to become like a weapon in some ways and get really proficient with weapons and killing people. So for some people, there's probably like a little sadism behind that. Just like, yeah, send me to the Middle East.
Yeah, people I know that are going to the military, I can see. I mean, not that whole thing, but I can see, like, maybe the aggression part, or, like, maybe, like, troubled life or something like that could cause that type of thing, but then again, I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying Cooper Heck is a sadist, but Cooper Heck is an aggressive little dude. Like, when he'd play football, he was very, like, fearless, and he would just, he was crazy out there.
But then again, maybe you just go for it because you, like, want to go for the challenge, and then it's, maybe it's a family deal, too, that you want to do it because your uncle did it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Brandon was in the military, possibly, but that may not be. You don't think so?
I think it was one of his mom's brothers or
Or like Trey Bollinger, like his whole family's been in the Air Force, like all of his uncles and Mandy Locken.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be like joining the Marines is gonna be one of the hardest things I could possibly do, so I'm gonna do it. And now he's like rocking it. He's like head of his class or however that goes.
Yep.
Think you could join the Marines, Joe?
Flat feet.
Daffy did it. Then he got kicked out.
Yeah. He did some Middle Eastern missions before he got sent back.
Didn't he save bugs in like Siberia or something?
Yeah, he saved Bugs because Bugs went on he went on a plane trip to like Arabia or something.
Mm.
But he was dressed up as a woman, like Bugs Bunny does. So they looked at him and then looked at his ID and they're just like, this isn't the same person. So they put him in prison.
What's Daffy say when he breaks in?
He's like, what are you doing here? We're bringing you home.
Yeah, that's great. The Looney Tunes show was really good. That was one of the better reboots that I can think of. That show honestly was super hilarious. Like,
Yeah, that was pretty good.
the way that they kind of put all the characters in just like a suburb is hilarious because before you just have like the original show was just you'd get like Yosemite Sam doing something with Bugs Bunny and you get like Elmer Fudd and Daffy Duck and all these guys kind of doing separate stuff, or you get some of them, but this is just like there you kind of see all of them at once, and not at once all the time, but just like putting them in modern day situations. What's one of the better ones I can think of? Porky Pig does like a catering business, and everything's just butter. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, Bugs makes him put extra butter in everything.
Because it's so good.
Like, Bugs, wants, Porky wants to go, do something on his own, but Bugs just has parties every day just to have Porky cater for him.
Or the Bugs trying to get his internet or cable fixed, and the turtle and the Julie.
Julie.
Julie, I know we can hear me.
That's a good one too.
Oh no. I think it burst.
The Looney Tunes with the apartment and the dog. He's doing like the Russian dancing. Do you remember that one, Joe? Is that Porky Pig? Or not?
This is done. Yeah, it's Porky Pig and just the one dog.
You poked a hole in it.
I think it's because you guys were throwing it around. It hit your pokey floor.
Think I can make it in my boot?
Let's see.
That boot's a problem.
Oh, grab it, Anthony. Send it back to him.
Let me try it. No.
Oh!
Right in the boiling hot wax.
Oh my.
His like, it was slick for a moment. I mean, it's slick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let me check. Actually, let's just let this out.
Give me the matches. I'll try for round 2.
Anyway, we should like watch like a series or something, like a short series, and then talk about it on there. Like the Looney Tunes show.
Avatar's coming, everybody. Next time. Oh.
So watch it and then talk about it afterwards, or like do a Mystery Science Theater thing?
We should do both.
Yeah, we can
Both.
do both.
Like,
But I mean, I was just talking about like talk about it on here or something like that.
Honestly,
Because
we could just set that up. Have our backs to the TV and have no light but the TV, and then it'd just be our silhouettes. That'd be hilarious. Don't use that.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go
broken
for
on
shot
both
2.
sides.
Hey.
I hope that's in the shot and you're not in the way.
I hope the phone's still going.
How long has it been?
Well, I know it's been past 20 minutes, but last time I went this long recording something with Mr. Gimbal, it just
split.
It just split. So it should. We have plenty of room and plenty of time. So if it's not going, I don't understand why.
Jacob's just got his own playground over
No, don't touch it. It's fine.
I'm happy that kind of happy that happened, even though I didn't mean for it to happen.
It's rather dangerous. I'm just glad it didn't.
I think I'm gonna keep my mustache.
For a while.
Keep the mustache, just grow the beard into it.
I think I need to get the stash back, honestly. I'm not saying it just because you got it, because it's gonna take me quite a while to get it back, but
What you should do is you should keep the stash and some chops.
you know that wouldn't work.
Well, Anthony, you're losing hair, so I think you should add some hair to your face.
That's
And my
private
hair is so
information.
long, like, I think I want you to cut my
You
hair.
don't look bald today. You don't look like you're balding today anyway. I mean, the other day you did. The other day you did, but I don't think now it doesn't look.
It's like, because I'll shower and then I'll just not do it. I'll just kind of dry it, and then it just, it's just curling in like 15 different layers up here, so I just look like a rat. You dirty rat. That's what I think when I see myself.
Oh.
You are balding. You dirty rat.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be bald by the time I'm 35. Or, I'll have a nice bald spot.
Or you'll have a nice comb over.
I don't think I can.
Mushnick, you've done it once. You can do it again.
That was a long time ago.
And it was fake.
And I was Jewish. What are you doing?
Did you ever mention Shabbat?
You can't have the flower shop open on Shabbat. Then I would have been a Middle Eastern Jew. I'm trying to be a New York Jew. An old New York Jewish man. An old Jewish
banker.
banker.
Is that why in the dance number they worked in like the
The shimmy? I don't know. I
Is
think
that
that might have
The
been
Jimmy, you mean?
like
Jimmy.
who was the choreographer for that?
I think it was just Mrs. Maher came up with it. I mean, I'm sure she was watching different schools do it, or different plays of the whatever it's called.
I'm sure that at some point came from the Fiddler on the Roof, because that's just the dance the Jewish dance.
Well, I remember her telling me that I was gonna shimmy in her classroom, and like me and Schaefer were just doing blocking for the scene, and I was just like, please don't make me shimmy. She's like, no, Anthony, really, I need you to shimmy. I'm pretty sure I'm sure we could find that somewhere in Mom's old CD things, even though.
I could be like, Mom didn't want me to shimmy.
Little shop of horrors.
Is that what I was in?
Yeah, that's what Jacob was in. Jacob played the. Read me, Seymour.
Jacob played a plant that grew sporadically.
I mean,
You
this
know,
is it's
have
sad.
we ever introduced ourselves on here? Formally?
I think they got it by this point.
We could. I mean, we can. I don't think we have really. We've just said this is the alley
I
ranch.
mean, we could totally add that into an intro before every single one.
No.
Joseph was kind of thinking of an intro idea, like
like all this stuff, like for like the 9 to noon, bumper to bumper and stuff like that. They've just got like quotes from movies.
Yeah, or you know, we could do like a musical.
Yeah,
intro.
we could just at the bottom of our first video, we could just put Aunt Joe Jake, since that's how they're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Have to work that to everyone.
Yeah, I mean the intro could be multiple things. And Joseph was also saying like, I was telling Joseph, since we have 3 mics, we should all have like acoustic guitars, or you know, like once we get this set up good, and we have like a sound bar or some type of thing we could plug all our mics into, we could do something where we all have instruments and then we're just playing like Nutshell or something.
I was saying like every time we're like talking about a movie, it's like, well, this movie in a nutshell, and then it just cuts to all of us.
Us in this chair, like us here, just playing like.
It cuts to us doing that.
Yeah. Or I was saying it could just cut to Joseph going like boom, 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 doing the bass line. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We need a button like they do. No. I
Yeah,
always
like an
love that
iCarly
one.
setup. Like,
What's that called? Just like a little board, they call it?
What is that called, Joe? They call it like, I don't know, like the sound remote thing.
The soundbite.
If you know, let us know in the comment
Controller?
section.
The soundbite controller. Yeah, let us know in the comment section.
See if
What
you
are the
can-
ones they use in 9 to noon? No.
I always love that one. Yes.
Yes.
Wah, wah, wah.
I found a snap from Jake Ways the other day, and it was him going like this, like screaming, and it was in all caps. We could have kicked a 56-yard field goal.
What was that on?
That was when Brett Favre threw the interception in the NFC Championship. No!
Oh, Brett.
He threw an interception. Terrible. Not as bad as Blair Walsh. He misses it wide left.
That was to go to the Super Bowl too?
The season can't end like that.
No, it's a wild card round.
It was a wild card round. I think the one thing he said in the Brett Favre game was, "This isn't Detroit. This is the Super Bowl." Terrible.
Oh, Paul. We need to get him on here.
You know, he never replied to my Twitters, or my emails, or my. I think I got a hold of him 3 different ways.
Does he even care? About
You know, he's a busy man, but I was really like, I was confident he was going to answer me, so I was planning like my trip to Minneapolis in my head, and he never answered me. So
What was this for?
this was something we did for one of Tom's classes. It was like interview a successful business person.
Who'd you interview?
I interviewed Gimbal, which was great.
What did he do? What's his business?
Well, I don't know. Well, he also said, like, you know, you could do a teacher or someone you look up to in your community. So I was like, I'll do Gimbal because, I mean, honestly, if Gimbal were to start a business, it'd be successful. He's just a
Is he
teacher.
taller than you too? If he was taller than you, then it's like, I look up to him.
Even though. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a joke.
I'd say he's 5'10".
It's a
You should have just interviewed Tucker.
Why?
Because
You look up to him.
I do. Yeah, physically. No, Tucker's a great kid.
Get your feet off my chair.
Sorry. So
Put
anyone
socks
watched
on.
Detective Pikachu? Never seen it. You know
No.
who plays Detective Pikachu?
Ryan Russo.
Shout out to Ryan.
Ryan.
Yoda.
Rudy.
Oh yeah, Rudy. That was his other nickname. No, it's it's the guy who plays Deadpool. Me neither. I can see him.
I can only think.
hear him in my head.
I can only think Ryan Russo anymore.
I think Ryan Seacrest, but
Ryan Gosling. Nope.
Yeah,
I don't think
I've
it's
got
Ryan
all of
either.
the wrong
I
ones.
don't think it's Ryan either.
I don't
It's
think
not
it's-
Paul Rudd either.
I love Paul Rudd.
If you know, comment down in the section of comments.
All right,
Look it up.
get the microphone out of your eye socket.
Oh.
Jacob, could you fill up your Contigo with some water and hit me with it? I'm drowning here.
That's a brand name.
I'm parching. It's also a sponsor.
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
Also sponsored by.
Ryan Reynolds.
Can I get some water?
It's that double R. I got it. I was closest with Ryan Russo. the double R. Here we are, sponsored by exotic, deep, nutty, clean burning, intense, rich, intensely fragrant, dark, warm, spice, lead free, mysterious, and 100%
That's good.
soybean wax. Spiced oranges. Swan Creek.
You know,
Maple
that could
Grove.
be. We should contact them for sure.
Oh, dude, nothing like water, especially when you drink it like Frodo.
I gotta get my cup. I'm not drinking out of that thing.
Ooh, that could have been a.
Oh, not on camera. Stop that.
Are you doing that on the podcast right now?
Guys,
Come on
I
now.
was gonna find something to play on the podcast.
I don't want to get copyrighted.
That's for someone who is not in the who is.
Well, Joe, you know, we're not going to have a producer for all three in here.
Alright, let's cut it.
You can't just say that. I'm getting
Well, you
water.
guys are talking crap about me, so I don't want to be a part of that.
You
No,
gotta,
I really
you gotta tell us what you're doing on your phone if you're just scrolling YouTube. You got something in your nose. Chug. I seen some impurities in that water.
You guys need to clean that.
I emptied it out the other day.
But did you clean it?
No.
Did Anthony?
Clean it with the dirty tap water? I don't think it'll clean that well.
Yeah, especially when you just see the dirt come out of that.
And all the black charcoaly stuff. Oh, you're talking about the tap water.
Yeah. That was bad when we first came here.
Well,
So, anyway. You know, when the boot comes, what do we do?
We go to Antarctica and enlist some giants. We release them and be like,
Listen,
Fight
we live
for
in
me.
South Dakota. How are they supposed to
and
get
regain
over?
your honor.
Fight for me. No,
We're not like, it's not like we're,
it's not like we're heir to the throne of Gondor. Okay?
you know, it'd be basically, if they're the, like, fallen angels, we basically have to be Jesus.
Yeah,
We got to have it.
We don't
Fight
really
for
have
me and
that.
regain your honor.
Don't try to.
That'd work really well, though.
Yeah, we're
If we were Jesus, yeah. but
Yeah.
We're not. We're just humans.
We're just
Maybe we could get,
Yes.
like...
Well, we do definitely need to come up with some type of action plan. Like, I was just thinking, if someone were to break into the house,
we're
I'd
dead.
probably get shot. I'm not like, we have all these weapons here, but I'm not
They're
like.
just in, like, on the way to your room. They're just like, I came in with a knife, but I'll take this. I'll take this.
I mean, in Watertown, I had this shotgun in my bed with me. I was ready for anything. But here, I'm just,
I would die to use this shotgun.
you know, I have a
think.
pool stick.
No, yeah. I'm thinking about turning our coffee table around so whenever I lay on the couch, you know, that I can have like a gun right in the little drawer there. And if I hear someone tear open that door, just
Then you can kind of roll down and hide under there too. Oh, no. You're talking about just going like this.
what do you think I meant?
Like,
The
but
couch
turning
next
it,
to
no,
it?
turning it sideways so that you could like roll and hide behind it. And like use it as a...
You know, I'm gonna die if they shoot at that coffee table. They
They
shoot
might
at
not see
anything
you
in the
right now.
house, I'm gonna die.
Except for that pull-out couch. I bet they could shoot through that.
It's still die though. They could shoot.
All right, here's a good topic. So tomorrow's Sunday, and it's the last week of Lent. What do you guys think? I'm not saying we should do something as a group. What do you guys think you could do for the last 7 days of Lent?
I already gave up Nutella. That's heavy stuff for me.
You know,
Yeah.
it could be tough, but I mean, I don't know if I thought about doing it, but it's about like praying 3 rosaries while kneeling down. That's tough because I mean, like, I want to be able to, like, you know, I was praying my rosaries, like, sometimes I'll be doing it in the car, you know, I'll say some in the car when I'm driving to work or something, or I'll maybe finish, like, 2.5 on the, or like 1.5 here at home or whatever, but now 3. It's tough.
Well,
Because then you gotta dedicate like an hour.
yeah.
And you know, whatever spiritual reading you may do. Or...
In Watertown, some days I would just say part of my rosary in the morning, like right in the morning, right next to my bed. Or I think a couple times I said the whole rosary just like first thing in the morning when I was doing 3. But yeah, that's pretty time consuming for sure.
I mean, I could definitely do that in the morning, especially with the schedule you've got me on in the morning. But I'm really tired when I say my prayers, and I don't pay the best attention, and I want to have the best. I want to be focused more.
I know, it's kind of tough. Especially because I want to like get as much stuff done in the first hour of waking up as possible. So it's like right when I wake up, all right, prayers about 5 minutes for that. But then I'm just like, you know.
Then you just go splash water in your face and give yourself an adrenaline
Like this
shot.
morning when I woke up, I knew we woke up late, so I just went and like cranked the shower on the cold, and I was. That's a good thing to do if you're like needing to wake up fast. If you're running late, just throw the shower on cold. It's like working out without working out. You gotta sit there for like at least 30 seconds and just let it chill you down.
Your body's like, man.
It like starts your blood flowing better. I'm pretty sure is what it does.
Your blood's like,
The cold
body's getting cold. Send the warm stuff.
Well, it's also you have to be like. I mean, this is the breathing exercise stuff. If you have the cold water on you and then you're breathing deep in your nose and out, that'll help. Like,
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty close.
No, it's just taking that deep breath.
Yeah, it's
Was
pretty near the 4 hours of what's it called?
healing endorphins.
Yeah, 10 to 2. I'm probably gonna take that 3 o'clock for you since tomorrow's Sunday. I just checked the heifers before we came out here, so.
Go on and ask.
One, I think it's 034 has some white alien juice coming out of its butt.
149. See anything with it?
Not that I can remember.
You see any cows that are their tail looking weird? You know,
I've
like
seen a
this?
couple with them like that, but not like the way you say. I thought of that too when I was out
Like
there.
this?
Some of them will just hold their tail up for like minutes after they're done.
Well, no, it's like they'll hold their tail up, but then some of them will have it like instead of like they're like here's their butt and everything, they're facing that way. It's like that. It's
Yeah.
not just like it's not like up like that, you know. It's like down. It's like this, but like it's like curved at the bottomish.
Mm.
That means, according to the best pure breeder out there, Brent Thiel. That's how it looks like.
Does it really? This thing is demonic.
What did it say?
Most likely. Anytime we had like something that was a fact, and I rolled it, and I was like, well, I don't know what I asked it, but I knew that it was going to be false, and none of them were anything except saying that it was false.
Who voices the king in Shrek 2?
Why are we bringing this up?
Just answer the question.
I don't know.
Oh.
Who voices Shrek?
Because I was gonna say, if this frog could talk, the voice of it would be, but you don't know the name of the guy, so I can't shake the 8-ball and ask him.
Who is it? I know you're just a pyramid.
Christopher Guest.
He's a great improviser.
Can you do that? Can you do that whole thing for me?
No.
Come on. The Mr. Lunt. Do it. It's so good.
I'm not going to.
Just do it.
No. This isn't the right time.
I guess that'll be the end of tonight.
Okay, fine.
Come on, man. It's so funny.
No.
Which part is it?
You know the six-fingered man in Princess Bride? That's Christopher Guest. And that's who Mr.
Which
Lunt...
one?
Christopher Guest is the
Six-fingered
six-fingered man. That's Mr. Lunt, like, references him in that commentary.
Oh.
In Joseph's gonna do that for us right now.
He says, so, me and Christopher Guest were at the NASA Space Center Visitor Center, and we were both standing under the Apollo rocket, or the Saturn V, I'm not sure which one it was, but we were standing under that rocket, and we both looked up, and at the same time we said, that's big. And the thing is, we both improvised that line.
Because he was on an improvised thing. I'm a great
Improviser.
improviser. Me and, what's her name? Sterling? There's Shelly something?
Sally Struthers?
Sally Struthers.
Don't know who that is.
Well, what do you think? Meet sometime next week, give ourselves a few days off. Content creation's a tough biz, especially when you're not creating any content.
It says not to tell you.
We'll be down in Omaha sometime next week. Probably meeting up with one of my old border buddies, I'm not sure.
I'll be here.
Jacob will be here running the farm.
Running the ranch.
So, did you know this guy is a finger puppet?
Yeah.
And we haven't used this?
I put him on a pen.
Doesn't work very
We just need, like, to cut, like, a big hole in the table.
Push him.
Oh no, he's blending into Jacob's shirt. Get in his pocket. Kangaroo. Jacob's kangaroo baby.
Jacob's frog pouch.
Well, y'all got anything to say to sign her off for the night?
Caged giant writes.
What?
Free the Giants.
That's what you said?
Cage Giant rights.
Free the giants, facing the giants.
Little Giants.
Green giant.
Troll hunters. What about you, Jacob?
Big friendly
What
giant.
are you asking? I haven't seen the end.
Just if
Stone.
you got anything to sign it off.
Stone giants.
Got any dates coming up? That's usually what the comedians ask each other when they're on Joe
I
Rogan's
got any
show.
dates coming up?
Just with
No.
Wally.
No.
Just with his Warzone buddies.
Scav?
No, I probably won't play that. He texted me today, asked me. I said, no, I probably won't play Warzone for a while. But I'll have a date with some cows tomorrow.
Oh, we on some date with some cows
About
tonight.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
This guy's out late with them tonight.
I'll lay with the cows. Alright, well.
If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you the next day.
We'll see if we can get a buddy from Antarctica.
With some giants.
Or our buddy from Canada.
With some trolls.
Alright,
There's
good night. I doubt this thing's still going. I just don't see it. Oh, it's still going. It's been going for